Wish you could easily engage your experts and your audience? What if you could do that with organic promotion that works and doesn't cost you a cent? 9 out of 10 summit hosts don't exploit the one biggest resource at their fingertips. If you're ready to grow your summit now, then this session is for you. I'm Dr. Mark T. Wade, founder of Virtual Summit Software, CEO of Viral Summits, and your host on Summit Talks, the largest, most impactful virtual summit for summit hosts. Now, this session is going to be one for the record books. Get your pen ready, get your paper ready. You're going to want to take notes because we have legendary Jennie Wright here with us, founder of Jennie Wright. Jennie's produced and managed over 250 online summits, grown clients' email lists by hundreds of thousands, and created 6 figures for clients directly from their summits. If you're ready to learn how to do that, then this session is going to be for you. Jennie, thanks so much for being here with us today.
I'm really excited. I'm stoked. Thanks for having me.
We're going to have a lot of fun. Me and you like to nerd out on this kind of stuff. So we're going to definitely be having some smoke come out of people's ears, but it's going to be valuable smoke, $1 million smoke, if anything. But before we get into all of the goodness with the summit and all of the tactics and strategies you're going to be sharing with our summit hosts, I would love for you to give them just a little bit more insight about yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you. So I'm Jennie Wright. I'm a list build and lead generation strategist. Been doing this for about 8.5 years. My whole thing is growing your email list organically. And I love doing summits. So you don't get to 250 plus summits without really enjoying them and by doing all of them. And you know better than me that that's the case, right? So because you do so many of them. My whole goal is grow a list of highly engaged leads and then obviously be able to make sales and market to them. And it all starts for me with the planning. So I'm going to show you guys some really cool things today with organic.
And so important too. It's also one of the areas that I think a lot of summit hosts are really missing out on, or at least not doing correctly. So I'm excited for all of you to get this insight and information. So get ready, kick back, grab your pen and paper, maybe a little beverage if you need or want one, and get ready for some fun. So Jennie, I'm going to hand the mic over to you. This is your show. Take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Okay, so we are going to be talking about organic promotion today. We're going to talk about how you can fill your event with lots of leads, as well as get your experts to easily engage with you. This is one of the biggest problems that people have when they build a summit. It's the biggest question I get. How do my experts, when are my experts going to promote? How do they promote? What makes them motivated to promote? And I'm going to share some things today that might sound a little inflammatory, and that's okay because that's my process of getting you to break through what we're being told and what we actually need to be doing. So I'm going to show you the difference between what others are possibly showing you and what you're doing, and how we're going to get you thousands of dollars in sales from a summit, and then the things that we do afterwards, like this says in a webinar. You can use the same method I'm going to show you today to literally transpose it into your webinars, into everything that you're doing. But for today's focus on summits, this is going to be the thing that's going to revolutionize how you're actually doing them. I'm going to show you how to create a summit promotion plan that not only drives amazing traffic to your event, but increases your visibility and creates this snowball effect. So even after the summit's over, you're still gaining growth. And we're going to engage your experts because that's a really big thing. So again, I'm Jennie Wright. I am a list build and lead generation expert. I create courses. I do tons of summits, about over 250 of them and several hundred webinars, et cetera, et cetera. So this is my jam. And everything I'm going to tell you is stuff I've either tested on myself or I've tested on my clients with a ton of success. So here's the 5 reasons experts are not promoting your event. 1, they don't care. 2, they don't have the right information. Swipe copy, expert copy, promo copy, whatever you want to call it. They don't know how to promote effectively. They're too busy and they need help. or there isn't enough consequences if they don't. They think, if anybody has a loophole, they're going to find it. You have a lot of experts, and I'm sure Mark can really speak to this, where there's a whole bunch of the dog ate my homework kind of thing, right? So how do we remove all these barriers to why your experts aren't promoting your event? Well, the main thing is building a relationship. You absolutely have to build a relationship. When Mark even asked me to appear on this event, I got a personalized video asking me, Jennie, would you be an expert on my event? I'm like, dude, of course. It was personal. There's a relationship that Mark has built with me. And as a result, I was hands down in it, ready to go. So you have to start with building a relationship. The relationship you build with your expert goes beyond anything in terms of them feeling vested in promoting your event. If you treat your experts like they are just a number and that you just want access to their list and that's it, they have a feeling of just like they're not really in it to win it with you. There's no vested interest in actually participating with you and helping you. If your expert feels like you give a crap about them and their success and, having them get as much exposure as humanly possible, then they're going to be like, okay, I feel like I'm seen, I'm heard. I feel like, Mark gives a crap about me as an expert and he's going to take care of me and he's going to put the best light, on me. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to show up for him because I know he's showing up for me, right? Objection number one, they don't care, right? So there's no relationship. So if you just find your expert on Google, send them a message and say, hey, it's Jennie here and I would love for you to be a host on my ABC XYZ event. And they just say yes over email and there's no relationship building. What they're going to do is they're not going to have that. They're not going to care. They're just not going to care. They're going to be like, this is just another notch on my interview belt. And if I promote, yay. And if I don't, it's not really going to bother me. So there's an entire way of taking care of this objection. And I'm going to explain it a little bit later in what I'm calling the Thrive framework. But just to give you a hint, the relationship starts before the ask. So if you have experts that you're researching that you want to be on your event, then take the time to look at what they're doing, interact with them socially, join their mailing list, connect with them on social media, like their Instagram stories, connect on their business page, all these different kinds of things. So they go, wow, you know what? This is somebody who actually gives a crap and who watched my webinar or read my book or has connected with me. And yeah, we share the interest in pugs together, whatever it is. Objection number two, they don't have the right swipe copy or expert copy. You want to make the process of promotion stupid simple. You literally want it to be step one, cut, step two, paste, step three, post. If you can make it that simple so they have no loops or hoops to jump through, then the process of getting them to promote is that much easier. And here's where you have to use things like video, right? And a really clear, concise expert promo page. The way that we used to do it was we'd send an email and be like, hey, general expert, here's the link to your promo copy, and maybe it would be in the email. And maybe there would be one image that we, maybe got done on Fiverr or something like that. And it wasn't as cohesive. When you're trying to put on a summit that's going to have a tremendous amount of value and a tremendous result, you need to invest in the time and even potentially in the effort and the money to have really good copy and a really good process. This is where you have to have a summit manager. This is where having somebody do graphics is imperative. Maybe if you're not good at copy, you're hiring a copywriter to help you with this so that you have the best possible foot forward when you promote. And trust me, if you send experts just an image that you made on Canva or something that looks a little, not as professional perhaps, because that's just not your thing, and that's okay. Or if you send them a copy that, even though you're not a copywriter, you did your best, and I get it, and that's okay, but they feel it's not up to the standards of their audience, guess what's going to happen? They're not going to promote. So best foot forward, make sure it's stupid simple, and you're more likely to get them to actually help you out and promote. Number three is they don't know how to promote effectively. In some cases, you're going to have somebody that is awesome at what they do, amazing expert. You desperately want them on your event, but they may not have the chops when it comes to marketing and promotion. That's okay. having something really easy to show them how to promote and educate them, or have a consequence of cutting them loose, is important. So on your promotional, in your promotional area and in the conversations that you're actually having, you need to establish their level of promotional knowledge. When you're vetting your expert and you go to their business page on Facebook, or looking at Google My Business or whatnot, check out the pictures in the actual profile of the business page. If you're seeing pictures where it's them and another expert, or them with a host, or them with a whole bunch of speakers, they're promoting summits and they probably know how to do it. Then go deeper and actually look at the copy and what they're saying and see if they actually know how to promote. Check out if they're promoting their own thing, a webinar, a video, a download, and see how they promote. Make sure that you understand that they know how to promote things before you have that conversation. Now, if you get the surprise, oh crap, they don't know how to promote, here's how to mitigate it. On your expert promo page, on your expert center, wherever it is that you're actually going to give people access to the promotional copy and their images and all those wonderful things, include a video. Do a Loom video if you have to, with a screen share, and show them how you want them to promote. Teach them. I think it would be great if, as part of your promotional, you did a Facebook Live. Take a look at this. This is a Facebook Live I did from my last summit, and here's some of the social posts that I did that did really, really well with lots of engagement. And here's the way I formatted my email so that it really got a lot of, opens, reads, and clicks. So you can do that to help elevate people to the level that you want them to be at. And if you still feel like they're not at that level with you, there has to be a consequence. It sucks, but sometimes you have to cut. Okay. And that's just following your gut. Objection number 4, they're too busy or they need help. So it's not your job to supply them with a VA or create their landing page for them, or, help them figure out what PDF they should make for their download. That's for them to figure out. But what you can do is you can help them by overcoming this issue by oversimplifying and over communicating. So if they're really, really busy, then make sure, and I always build this into a summit, I always build in an enormous amount of time for communication, because you need more than you think, right? So that's why I'm not a big fan of doing a 90-day summit as much anymore, like where you're building a summit in 90 days, because communication can be a real issue. So help people overcome their issue by, again, oversimplifying, not sending an email every single day, but over communicating by, checking in with people. If you feel that somebody's busy and they're dropping off your radar just before promo, you have to check in and, get your assistant check in. You check in and go, look, hey, Mark, I'm really excited that you're on my event and promo starts on Monday. I haven't heard back from you when I sent you the promo materials. Just want to check in. Everything okay? You need any help? Is there anything I can do? I've CC'd your assistant on this just in case there's something that we need to, work through, or if I can help and support you. Communicate, provide support. All right, objection number 5. There's not a good enough consequence if they don't promote. You have to decide early on in your planning process how you're going to handle a no promo expert, or a no show, no communication, no answer, no, you know what I mean? So we have to look at this, and it doesn't matter where you are in your summit process. It could be your first summit or your 10th summit. When we first start doing summits, we think that the experts are up on these big pedestals, and we treat them like that. The actual fact is they're just like us. They're just a few steps further ahead. So when we're actually looking to communicate with them and understand, there has to be a consequence if they don't promote, because there has to be an equal process here. You have to decide what you're going to do. Are you going to allow expert number A, like expert A, who might have potentially a big audience but won't promote for you, to stay on your summit and actually benefit from the other 20 people who are promoting? Does that seem fair? Right? So unless you have an agreement with your expert that they're just going to show up and look pretty and not promote, and that's the agreement you've made, and sometimes you do that with a headliner, and I get it. Unless you have that agreement, there has to be a consequence. Consequences depend. It can go from moving the person from the front of the line, like, interview number 1 on day number 1 to interview number 12 on day number 6, or it can be a full-on cut. You have to figure that out and be prepared to stand your ground. The other thing is, you don't have to be a complete harsh person about it. You can literally say, hey, expert, I'm a little bit concerned because when we had our conversation before our interview, you were in agreement to send, promotional emails, etc. I'm not seeing those coming from you or your team right now. And I'm a little bit concerned that we're running out of time to promote. One, do you need any extra resources or help to make this happen? Two, if you're not able to promote, no judgment, but I have to make a decision on my part as to where you stand now in this event. And three, if I don't hear back from you, I'm going to assume that, it's just not a good fit for you right now, and I will be pulling your interview. All the best in the future. Like you just let them go with grace, right? But you have to be ready to do that.
Hey, Jenny, something that just popped into my mind too with this is I think on a lot of summits, the hosts give the speaker an opportunity to generate leads by giving away a freebie, a bonus. Mm-hmm. So another option is to pull that and say, hey, we're going to keep the session, but we're going to pull your freebie, pull your bonus.
Absolutely.
Which is one of the big benefits for the speakers.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the next step is to overcome the way you may have been taught how to do a summit. And I want to overcome some of the things you may have seen, you may have heard, the trainings or the teachings that you may have received. And I want to infuse you with a new way of doing things. So first, I'm going to show you what people have probably already told you. Do a broad summit. Invite everybody. Try and get as many experts as you possibly can from all the different fields. And hopefully you'll get a good result. Because if you invite, if you have all the experts in all the different fields, then you're playing the numbers game, and fingers crossed that it works for you. Don't communicate the value effectively. Who is this actually going to serve? I have had a client in the past who literally invited experts from every field you could think of with the idea of how they overcame adversity in their lives. But those experts came from such different fields. One person ran a U-Haul kind of company style thing. One person had a charity. One person had this and that. Her ideal client, the host's ideal client, was nowhere to be found in the lists or the followings of the experts that she was choosing. So the expert, or the host, I should say, didn't have a real clear understanding of who this was going to serve. And as a result, asked experts to participate that really could not later on provide her with the audience that she needed to be able to sell and be able to promote to. So that was a real big issue. Not enough time or effort put into the overall summit. We get such little time. We get little time on the opt-in page. We get a little bit of time, hearing Mark's opt-in video or, the promotional stuff. We have very little time to get people to actually click on our links and register for our events. We have to put our best foot forward. So that goes all the way from your opt-in video looking as professional as you possibly can to your, whatever software you're using to actually build it out. Highly recommend Mark's, so that it actually, looks good, does the right things. Additionally, if you're using an all-in-one platform or a platform that has multiple levels that will help you build out a summit like Mark's, then it actually makes it easier for you to do your job and put your best foot forward, because things that are included in a software like that actually help make it easier for you as the host to make it look great and effective, right? So if you're trying to do a summit and you're like, I don't know, I'm just going to cobble this together and bring this together, and I'm going to try and figure this out. And, I've never done a Facebook Live, but, blah, blah, blah. And graphics, I don't know. I think my 17-year-old niece might be able to do a graphic for me because that's what she does. She does her own Instagram post. She must be okay. Like if that's how you're approaching it, then you have to weigh that with the results you're going to get. And I'm not saying you have to invest $100,000 in building a summit. I'm not saying that you have to hire a team of 30. But what you do have to do is you have to look at the places where you could elevate and then go for it. Oops. All right. So potentially, and this is a way that we've been taught, is we overwhelm our potential audience with seemingly similar choices. This is when you're building your summit where you have to stand out. One of the big things I do in my research is I look at all the summits that have been created in my field. Google is your friend, and honestly, so is Facebook events, because those things just stay up unless people take them down. And you can look at all of the summits that people have done in your niche. and you can see what the big, the big thing is that people are saying, like the repetitive title, or even sometimes the repetitive taglines and the repetitive phrases and what they're saying in their opt-in videos. You need to stand out. You need to be different. And you may not be able to be different in potentially the topic, because your topic is your topic, but you can be really different and stand out in the way that you're going to present yourself. So maybe your opt-in video is done differently. Maybe your graphics have a real stop the scroll look to them. And you want to be able to get people to go, this doesn't look like everybody else's stuff. And now I'm really keenly interested. The other thing is, they're not promoted well enough. We are taught that you can just promote these things in a week, that you can just, fly by the seat of your pants and not have a promotional plan. I've taken summit courses. I was taught by somebody years ago how to do summits, and they never, ever, ever told me how to promote. It was just, hey, you got a 2-week promo period, go for it. Not how often, not how much, not where, not when, nothing. And so when you're actually going to promote a summit, and if it's your first or your 10th, build in more time for promo than you think. And if you're doing paid advertising, build in more, right? So you need time for those to work and change, like, what's the right word I'm looking for?
Optimize.
Thank you. They have to be optimized and all these kinds of things. So the winning summit is the planned summit. It's the summit that you spent more time working on in the back end and in the behind the scenes than in the front end and worrying about the interviews and the videos and all these things. The more planning you do, the more thoughtfulness you put into it, the more time you build in to when your event's going to launch and how you're going to promote it. That's what matters. I've had clients and summit hosts who were like, oh, I'm going to launch my event in November. And I'm like, you do realize that in November, you've got American Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and then you're leading into Christmas, New Year's, and then like it's done. Like seriously. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Well, these are the things you need to think about, right? So you need to look at when you're launching, back it up to when you're starting your promo, check all the dates, all the wonderful things. Okay, so that's me being a little inflammatory and saying that the summit system, as a lot of people know, it is broken. We're not taught the right way. We're not shown the right path that's going to get us the best results. So I ask you if we could create a nice sized list, because we're not going for gargantuan numbers. I'm not a huge fan personally of vanity numbers. I'd rather have a gorgeous chunky list of super engaged people versus a big bloated list of people who are never going to buy from me. So if we can improve that for you in ways that are actually not too difficult, using organic promotion so that, if you don't have the budget for Facebook ads or that's just not your thing, that you can still do this effectively. That's what I'm about to show you. So this is called the Thrive Summit Framework. This is the framework that I apply to every single summit I do. And this is what gets results for myself and my clients. So the Thrive Framework is about being transparent about your intention. That's getting on a call with your expert ahead of the time, or having a real frank email and saying, look, this is what this is going to be. I'm going to, I want experts in this field. This is what I want them to do. This is how I want everybody to be. This is the community I'm trying to create. This is the reason I'm doing it. If you're on board and it sounds like a good plan to you, let's talk about being on this event. You have to be helpful before asking for the commitment. That means taking the time, like I said a little bit earlier, to actually give a crap about your expert, your potential expert. Get on their email list, check them out. Like and share on their social media, show that you actually care about them. And if they're struggling to maybe understand what it is that you're trying to do on your event, then provide them with additional help. I am a huge fan of having if you don't have like a video, almost like a FAQ video, which Mark did, it's awesome. So then create an FAQ, literally like a downloadable PDF. Here's what this is about. Here's who it's for. Here's what we're trying to do. Like literally make it stupid simple so that there's no questions, because when we have an expert that doesn't understand what we're trying to do, the answer is most likely going to be no. And if you're trying to get big guys on your summit, like the big people, the influencers and whatnot, you have to go the extra mile to be helpful to them because they're busy, and to their assistants because they need the info. So be helpful. Give resources that make this beyond simple. step by step by step. Pretend that you're hand holding them through the whole process. Step 1, book your interview. Back it up. Step 1, fill out your expert form. Step 2, book your interview. Step 3, fill out this form. Give me your headshot, the name of your presentation, this and that. And step 5, here's 5 things that you can do to really get the most and be ready for this interview. It's not that hard. You can do it once and send it to everybody, and it works. Invite, don't command. This sounds really weird in a summit, but it's true. This is your style of communication. So I'm always of the invitation to go deeper into a conversation versus the, dude, where's your stuff? Where's your headshot? Where's your bio? I haven't gotten it. Like, people are just like, oh my God, this isn't cool. I don't feel good. I feel micromanaged by your assistant. I don't like it. So that's where I flip it, and we use the invitational side of things, like, hey, it would be really helpful to my team if you could get them the information by X date. And if we don't have the information by that date, then, we're going to actually pull from your Facebook. We're going to pull the image out of your Facebook and the bio from your website. We would rather have it come from you. So if that's okay with you, please get it over to us. Like, I just phrase it a little bit differently than, where's your headshot? Where's your picture? Where's your link to free gift, and less commanding. We get a better result. People don't like to be told. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable and real with your people, like your experts and also like your team. So being vulnerable is saying, hey guys, this is actually my first event, and I'm relying heavily on my team to help me get through this. And so as a result, I'm any feedback that you can give me that you think would be helpful, I'm open to it. Things like that. Just be open and vulnerable, especially about the process, because it can be incredibly overwhelming. And then last is engage. Engage your experts before, during, and after their interview. Send them a follow-up email after you do the interview. Mark, it was so great to do the interview with you. Thanks so much for being part of this. In a couple of days, my assistant's going to send you the link that you need with more information. And if there's anything that you want to tell me, if there's anything or any way I can support you before the summit actually starts, let me know. I'm here. Can't wait, right? Follow-up emails, pre-interview emails, all those wonderful things. Great stuff. All right, so this is the new plan. So we got rid of the old plan, which I showed you before, which people are doing and doesn't work anymore. Here's the new plan. This is a 6-step process. 1, this is how we're going to create those relationships and get better leads into our events. Schedule live interviews with your experts everywhere. On your timeline, on their business page, on your business page, on their Instagram, anywhere you can get with them live is how you're going to get more organic views on things. So that 2 or 3 weeks before you launch, you should have Facebook Lives every single day, if not twice a day. If I can do that to you, I will make you do it. Lives everywhere, okay, on all of their platforms. Go, load videos, record a video together, or do a live together. Get that thing downloaded, load it on LinkedIn if your ideal client's on LinkedIn. Schedule live videos. They really get engagement. You do a Q&A option. People love it. It's more highly engaging than just a post. Tag them ridiculously on all the social posts about the event. Tag them everywhere. Some people have their Facebook settings set that if you tag them, it just immediately goes on their profile. Yay, us. Some don't, but they'll see it. Facebook will notify them, you've been tagged in a post by Jennie Wright. You're going to go check it out. And then the expert can decide. Now they know they need to promote. And quite honestly, if we tag them in something, they might go, this is a pretty easy way for me to promote. Click, put it on my profile. Help them claim ownership of the event a bit by asking their opinion on how to do things, or, if there's any feedback, or if there's anything that, they think that they could do, we could do to improve. This is actually something that I do in the pre-interview process that really, really works. Sometimes I will actually say to people, I won't tell them how I want them to promote. I ask them, and that was more in the invite and command area. So what I'll do is I'll say, Mark, I'm doing an event. It's going to be hosted in XYZ. I'd love to have you in as an expert. Now, there is a promotional component of this event. Would you be willing to promote to your audience? Mark's going to say, yes. Awesome. What would be acceptable or okay to request you? Like, how often could we get you to promote? What would be okay with you? What would you be willing to do to promote this event? And then shut up and let Mark answer. Because Mark's going to tell you exactly. He'll be like, I'm willing to go live with you, and probably send an email to my people, and I'll do this and some social posts. And you go, awesome, great. So when we do that, they're feeling a bit of ownership in the event as well, because they're feeling like, hey, you know what? I matter. She asked me. She didn't command me and tell me. She asked me. She said, how can I make this better? Now, funny enough, when I was, we were going through the process of having me on this event with Mark, there was a form. Hey, can I go live with you on your business page? Is there a podcast that you have that we could do together? All these different questions. Those were the invite things. Those were the, hey, I want to participate with you at a higher level. What can we do as a team? And so you feel more vested in the event. It gets people to promote, trust me. Customize your promotion to your expert. If they're big on IG, make sure you're on IG. If they're huge on LinkedIn and you're not, get on there, tag the poop out of them. Get on there, do it. Develop a real relationship. Make it so people feel like the two of you have some sort of a friendship that you're building, or at least a relationship, a business relationship, and that's what you want. So there's two ways of having a relationship with somebody in this realm. And it's, they only ask me when I want something, and they actually give a crap about me. And when they don't want something, they're still vested. So this is where, pre-interview, maybe you send them a message. You're like, hey, it's super good. I loved your post today. It was really good. Your live was awesome. And you connect with them. Is there anything I can do to help you? Blah, blah, blah. Like, connect with them as a real person, not just in the formality of the expert host relationship. And that's going to go a long way to building those relationships with them. And number 6, be prepared to have consequences for non-performance, right? So this is, again, where you have to decide what's going to happen if they don't do what they say they're going to do, right? And Mark had a really good example of keeping the interview, pulling the free gift. And, I have clients that I tell all the time, do a live panel during the summit. I love doing live panels, live Q&As with like 6 or 7 of the experts. So much fun. But if they're not going to promote, I yank them from the panel and I put another expert in that's actually doing the job. And if they're doing it, I want to reward them with extra, exposure. People want to get in front of my audience. I will put them in front of my audience if they do the things that are going to help me build it. Absolutely. All right. The next thing I want to talk about, and we're going to run through this pretty quickly, but this is the thing that's going to help you. This is the organic portion of promotion. I call this a promo storm. Y'all know that when a storm is happening, it's not like beautiful sunny day and then bam, clouds, rain, thunder, and all that. There's a buildup. You actually see it coming. You're like, oh gosh, there's some clouds out there. It's getting a little windy. Ooh, I better, get inside. And that is the lead up. That is what happens when you promo. And I'm going to explain this to you, that instead of just going, oh crap, I got to promote my summit. And maybe you post once a week, maybe you email once a week. But when you go into promo, now you're posting every single day and you're emailing every single day. What's going to happen? In the organic side of things, your audience is going to go, what the crap? And your email side of things are going to go, crap, I mean, this is just way too much. I'm out. So in the promo storm, you're actually going to create this steady buildup. So people are going, who the heck is this? And what are they doing? It's the steady buildup so that you don't feel overwhelmed and your audience doesn't feel overwhelmed either on social and your email. It's really just getting in front of people and providing a lot of value. Funny enough, when you're doing a promo storm, you're not actually just promoting your event, you're still giving high value. You want to get people to go like, what is he or she doing? So a promo storm goes deep. A promo storm spends more time and it's driving traffic while still providing a ton of value to the people that you're interacting with. So if you're going to do a Facebook Live with an expert, Mark and I are going to go live and we're going to talk about the summit. Well, we're not going to just talk about the summit. We're going to be like, here's 2 things that you can do to help get your experts to promote on this event. And we go deeper in the summit interview. You're going to want to check out the summit when it goes live. Click the link below. Right? So we're helping them. And it's about showing up everywhere and building those relationships and connections. You want people to say, oh my gosh, you are literally everywhere. So as an example, this is an example of promo plus value. This is me promoting an event I did. And it's, you think if you look at it that I'm promoting my weekend, but I'm not. I'm giving value and I'm showing what goes into creating a big launch. And then I'm showing the work and asking if they want to see more. Right? Here's what my weekend consisted of: a 19-page funnel build, 15 automations, 8 videos recorded, 16 Zoom webinars created, copy out the wazoo, right? That's what goes into some of these big launches, and Mark should be nodding his head like, heck yes, right? You can use that information to get people going, really? You did all that work? What's it for? I got to see. Show me what's going on, right? So again, I'm providing value here, and I'm also sharing that organic promo works, right? 18 Facebook Lives in 48 hours, 9 of which I was either hosting or co-hosting, all part of promoting Enhanced Camp. Organic promo works. People go, what? Really? And like, they're like, oh my gosh, okay. And you can see there's like comments and likes and all that wonderful stuff. And finally, you're going to need to work on your copy. Okay. This is the last part of the promo storm. Your landing page has to give enough information for people to decide whether or not they want to register for the event. You have to create an attention-grabbing headline that cuts through the noise, right? Stop the scroll. And this is something that a lot of people don't do. I think it's really important that you need to have a first-person bio on your opt-in page. People don't know you yet sometimes, or if they do, they want to get to know you better. But when you're doing a summit, you're getting traffic from all these different sources, and they may not know who you are. Take the opportunity to introduce yourself and let people see who you are. And then invite them to register throughout the page multiple times. Use an emotional appeal at the end to drive the point home and get them to register. All right, so this is just an example. I'll run you through this fast, and then we're wrapping. This is an actual event that I recently did not too long ago. And as you can see, the page, this is the actual page, right? Opt-in video. Bullets. Why would this be a fit for you? Why is this a thing? Why should you do it? Do you want more of this? Do you want more of that? Call to action. Hurry. Join it now, right? Then I'm emotionally teaching them, like emotionally reaching out. You could just do this in a couple tweaks. You're so close, but register and you're going to thrive. I'm going to show you how. And again, these are like these really good bios where it's showing people, what it's about and getting people to understand who you are right on the opt-in page. And then again, a really good call out. You can use the same framework on an opt-in page for your summit, a webinar, a talk, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. Okay. And the last thing I'm going to say is the emails matter. And these are the emails throughout your event. Your promo emails, your registration emails, your buy your VIP emails, all of these emails matter, and they're going to help you get more organic traffic into your event. So spend the time and make sure that you actually create some really good content. And Mark, that is pretty much the wrap up of what I wanted to say. I'm keeping an eye on the time.
That was incredible. Amazing. I'm over here pausing for a second because I'm trying to take down more notes. That was awesome. Like so valuable. You're going to have to watch that at least 2 to 3 times to get all of the information out of there. That was a direct path to success with your summit. If you do not rewatch that session and write down as many notes as I've written down, then you are missing out on something big. I've hosted over 40 of my own mega summits, and I'm still learning things from this. So please get that information. I know some of you are like, well, Mark, I need more Jennie in my life. Well, you're going to see all of her contact information right next to the video. Go follow her, like her stuff on social, reach out, ask her questions. I'm sure she'd be more than happy to answer any of those questions.
Absolutely.
And with that being said, she's also been so kind and generous to give us a special Summit Talks bonus, which you're going to see right below this video. And Jennie, I'd love for you to take just a few moments to give us a little bit more insight into that.
Absolutely. I'm going to give you a cheat sheet. This is your how to engage your list after the list build cheat sheet. So this is going to continue that organic sort of feel relationship building that you have with your new list, because honestly, once we build it, we're like, now what? So I'm going to give you a cheat sheet on how to really create those deeper relationships and get sales faster.
That is so good. Get it. I tell you this, I promise you this, you're going to get busy building out your summit. You're going to have all these things happening. You're going to feel a little bit overwhelmed. You're going to forget to end up doing this specific thing. What are you going to be doing with your audience after the summit? So just take this right here, get the easy button, have that so you have a moment to breathe and pause, and then you can jump in with your next promotion. So make sure you grab it right below this video. Other than that, Jennie, I appreciate you. I thank you. This was so valuable, so informative. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for making me part of it. I'm super happy to. You're building something of real quality and like really going to help people. You know, I've been watching you for a long time. We've had a podcast together and stuff like that. You bring the real deal. So I'm excited.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You have a heart on a popsicle stick.
I got lots of them over here. Keep everybody engaged. Whoop, whoop. Well, Jennie, thank you again. And thank you, all you Summit hosts, for hanging out with Jennie and I. I'm Dr. Mark T. Wade, your host here on Summit Talks. Remember, your message matters. And one of the most powerful ways to get that out to the world is with a virtual summit. Also, don't forget to grab your Summit Super Pack, which includes your all access pass, along with my one-day summit formula and 6 months of the virtual summit software, plus some very valuable bonuses from our partners, speakers, and sponsors. But it's only available for a short time, so don't wait. Go grab it now before it disappears. And let's see you in the next session.